In Belgrade, the Serbian capital, the streets are transformed into a stage of power and symbolism. Columns of troops march with precision, their boots striking the pavement in a rhythm that resonates with both history and intent. The parade opens with the nation's elite special anti-terrorist units, faces stern, steps disciplined, movements calculated. Each stride sends a message. Serbia has the will and the capability to defend itself in an uncertain world. From the grandstands, Serbia's political leadership watches attentively. President Aleksandar Vučić stands at the center, but his presence is not solitary. Beside him is an influential guest, Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the President of the United Arab Emirates. His attendance is no casual courtesy call. It signals deepening ties between Belgrade and Abu Dhabi, ties that extend beyond commerce into the realm of defense, energy, and strategy. The optics are unmistakable. Serbia is showcasing not only its arsenal, but also its diplomatic reach. As the parade continues, the focus shifts from men to machines. First come the paratroopers, a reminder of Serbia's airborne tradition, soldiers trained for rapid deployment and versatility. Their march is a nod to the idea that mobility and readiness remain central to the defence of a country positioned at Europe's crossroads. Then the ground begins to tremble under the weight of armoured vehicles. Serbia's domestically built machines roll past the crowd, engines roaring, steel glistening under the late September sun. These vehicles are more than hardware. They are symbols of national pride, proof that Serbia, though outside the European Union and NATO, continues to invest in its own defence industry. In a region historically shaped by external powers, producing one's own weapons carries profound meaning. But Serbia's arsenal is not exclusively homegrown. Next in line come American Humvees, an iconic piece of US military engineering, now outfitted with rocket launchers. Their presence underlines a subtle reality. Serbia's neutrality does not preclude diversification. By incorporating equipment from both East and West, Belgrade underscores its independence. It is a balancing act, a demonstration that Serbia can draw from Washington, from Beijing, and from its own factories without fully aligning with any one camp. This balancing act becomes even clearer as Chinese-made FK-3 surface-to-air missile systems roll forward. These guided air defense platforms represent Beijing's growing imprint in the Balkans, a strategic footprint that alarms some in Brussels and Washington. Serbia's purchase of the FK-3 was not just a defense procurement, it was a diplomatic signal, a reminder that China's belt and road ambitions are not limited to ports and highways. They extend to weapons and to influence. Yet Serbia also revives the old alongside the new. The Neva air defense system, a relic of the Cold War reimagined for today's battlefield, passes in review. It is a reminder that history still lingers in this region, that yesterday's tools, refurbished and adapted, can still find relevance in modern defense planning. And then, in a moment that captures the evolution of warfare itself, a Chinese CH-95 drone is unveiled. Mounted on a truck, the drone signals Serbia's embrace of unmanned technology. Where once soldiers and tanks defined military might, now drones have joined the pantheon. From Ukraine to the Middle East, unmanned systems are rewriting the rules of combat, and Serbia's parade reflects that global shift. But the significance of this event extends far beyond hardware. It lies in Serbia's identity, its place in Europe, and its memory. Officially, Serbia claims neutrality. It does not belong to NATO, though it cooperates with the alliance. It maintains historic ties with Russia while seeking investment from the Gulf and simultaneously purchasing arms from China. This parade is more than spectacle. It is a statement of strategic ambiguity. For President Vučić, such symbolism matters. Domestically, it projects authority. To the public, it reassures Serbia is strong, Serbia is capable. Internationally, it sends a more complex message. To Moscow, it says, we have not abandoned history. To Washington, it says, we remain open to cooperation. To Beijing, it says, your influence is welcome here. And to Brussels, it is a reminder that Serbia's path toward European integration is paved not just with reforms, but with strategic choices. The presence of Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed adds another layer. The United Arab Emirates has invested heavily in Serbia's economy, from agriculture to real estate. Defence ties, though less public, are growing. By appearing alongside Vučić at a military parade, the Emirati president lends legitimacy to Serbia's balancing role. It is a partnership that could shape not just commerce, but also the flow of technology, training, and even joint ventures in arms development. The spectators who line Belgrade's boulevards absorb all of this through the sights and sounds before them. The roar of engines, the thunder of marching boots, the glint of steel, and the snap of flags. For them, it is more than theatre. It is reassurance, an emotional reminder that their nation has agency and resilience. In a region haunted by memories of the 1990s wars, such reassurance carries deep resonance. Yet observers abroad watch through a different lens. In Brussels and Washington, the images may stoke unease. Serbia's arsenal now includes Chinese drones, Chinese missiles, American vehicles, and domestically produced armour. To some, this looks like flexibility. To others, it looks like hedging or even double dealing. In Moscow, the sight of Vučić alongside an Arab leader might be read as drift away from old alliances. In Beijing, the image of Serbian streets welcoming Chinese technology is evidence of influence achieved without military bases or NATO-style alliances. Numbers alone tell a story: 10,000 soldiers, 600 vehicles, 70 aircraft. But numbers do not capture the symbolism. Serbia, a country of just under 7 million people, is using sheer spectacle to command international attention. It is a strategy as old as politics itself: project strength through visibility. And visibility is what Belgrade achieves today. International media broadcast the images. Commentators dissect the partnerships on display. Analysts debate whether Serbia leans east-west or merely toward itself. But to the ordinary Serbian watching from the sidewalk, the meaning is simpler. Their country stands tall. As jets streak overhead and the final formations pass, the message crystallizes. Serbia may be small, it may be surrounded by alliances larger than itself, but it refuses invisibility. Neutrality here is not silence. It is presence, assertion, and careful calibration. The parade closes with the same precision it began. Soldiers march off, vehicles depart, drones are packed away. The applause fades, but the questions remain. What does this balancing act mean for Serbia's future? Can it maintain neutrality in a world increasingly divided between great powers? Or will the very weapons showcased today pull it toward choices tomorrow? For now, Belgrade has delivered its message: loud, clear, and unmistakable, neutral but never absent, independent but never isolated. A nation at the crossroads of Europe, determined to be seen and determined to be heard.
Za izvođenje protiv terorističkih i protiv diverzacijskih dejstava. Izuzetne zasluge u borbenim dejstvima za odbranu slobode, nezavisnosti i otadžbine brigade 16. juna 2000.
Se nalazi u Nišu, a kao dan jedinice proslavlja se 7. oktobar, znak sećanja
i protiv diverzijonu zaštitu određenih lica i objekata. Pripadnici podešelona odreda vojne politike
Umanevskoj, Primarskoj, Britanskoj i Bregalničkoj, a u Prvom svjetskom ratu posebno pogotovo saveznih vojski. Vojnici iz Ugrskog dela vozila opremljeni su naoružanjem i
komfort posade je jasan da je na vrhunskom nivou, što je obezbeđeno protiv minskim središtima
vojske. Prevozi se u borbenom vozilu Lazar 3K Command
da probije bilo koji savremeni tank opremljen pasivnom i dinamičkom zaštitom.
I sa mogućnošću istovremenog dejstva po 6 ciljeva
tehnologiji, što obezbeđuje visoku verovatnoću pohađanja najsloženijih savremnih sa raketama 5B-27D, kojima su tokom agresije NATO oborene borbene bespilotne letelice sa mogućnošću 36-časovnog neprekidnog osmatranja setom dalekometnih